Hello, 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 everyone. Those of you who are there and those of you who aren't. It's 2025. Where has the time gone? I remember saying it was 2020, 2021, 2022, and now we're in 2025. Hey, Patrick 65. Nice of you to join. How you doing? And Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of you, those who are joining and those who are on the replay. So today I just really wanted to check in and talk to you guys a little bit about High Fly Bermudian. I just wanted to check in and say first, Happy New Year. And two, I wanted to just share a little bit about what I will be doing and those are the things, and some of the things I will be continually doing as we move forward in 2025. I'm not much of a New Year resolution girl. I mean, when I think about it, my goodness, I was thinking about it the other day and saying to myself, when was the last time I made a resolution? And I think I was probably in my maybe 20s or could be 30s. And this is over 30-something years ago now, maybe. But one of the things I learned from that is, from the 31st to the 1st, is very unlikely you're going to all of a sudden make these changes. So much so where you're perfecting them. How you doing, Taria Mason, is it? How you doing? Nice of you to join me. Just talking a bit about 2025 and leading up to 2025 and the various things I'll be doing for many of you in 2025. And I was just talking about resolutions and the many people that set resolutions. And if that's something you do and that's something that works for you, very well. But my word and my theme every year changes. Today and for 2025 is keep going. Whatever it is you're doing or you started last year and you didn't get to complete, or the things in which you want to do, just keep going. Keep going and find out where you can end up, right? Or where it can lead you to. And so today I just really wanted to say Happy New Year, one. And two, when I started these Monday, it's actually called the Balanced Woman. When I started doing the Balanced Woman, it was basically just to get me back in motion on social media. And to get me in motion more so to be more comfortable with being on social media. What many of you don't know and is that I really don't like lives, right? And as many as I have done to date, I don't know what it is. I can do a video in a heartbeat, but going live just makes me feel, I don't know, uneasy. But here I am, showing up again after vacation. But I say all that to say, when I started weeks ago, the Balanced Woman, it was based around helping us women to recognize the importance of being balanced, right? And to, hi, Angela, nice of you to join me. When I started the Balanced Woman, it was basically talking about the various things that we as women experience in relationships, right? Not just our personal or intimate relationships, but there's relationships in our professional lives, right? Neighbors, people on the street, cashiers, waitresses, right? And my intention behind the Balanced Woman when it started was to give you tools as to how to show up in these various relationships. And during my vacation, I thought about it and said to myself, I actually have a TV show that I started about 3 years ago here in Bermuda. And it's on Channel 82 and so forth. Those of you Bermudians know, but those who's overseas may not know. And it's actually called Relationship Theory. And I thought about it and said, you know what? I'm going to go back to relationship theory and what that meant to me and why I started that show. And in actual fact, my children named it. Both my children, my son and my daughter. I threw out some things and they said relationship theory, Mama, because you're talking about the various aspects of relationships. And not all is factual. A lot of them are theory, right? From various people's experiences, mine, yours, and some bookwork, right? But I wanted to come on and say that because I also want to show how things can shift, right? I also want to show that I'm human, right? And as much as I go live, it still makes me feel very uncomfortable. I still feel very like on edge. But practice makes perfect, right? And perfect to me may not be perfect to you. But I'm back here in any event, right? And so what I want to share with you guys is, one, I'm going to return to my relationship theory, which is on YouTube. So I'll probably be coming on here and doing little snippets, right? But reverting you to and directing you to my YouTube channel for the actual episode of what I'll be talking about. I'll also be going back to one of my programs that I started when I turned 50. I turned 54 this year. Oh my goodness, I turned 54 this year. What in the world happened here? But when I turned 50, I started this 6-week program for women. It's called Own It in 6. And what that is a 6-week program that helps you to enhance your communication and to overall have better relationships, not just in your personal lives, but your professional lives alike. And so it will be 6 weeks of that. And so I'm going to bring that back to life because I've done it quite often, but I'm going to do it more so. Hey, Smiley, Jamrock, what's happening? But I'm going to do it more so as a group, right? So be watching for that, because I find that last year I found that I was getting so many calls as it relates to my Earn It in 6 program. What they didn't realize was this is what I teach in the 6-week program. Tina, how do you manage this? How do I say this? How can I do this? Why did this happen? How can I react to it? How can I respond? How can I not be defensive? How can I apologize? What does all this look like? Well, this is my Earn It in 6 group program. Do I do it privately? Absolutely. It consists of a little bit more, but I do that as well. So I wanted to share that my Earn It in 6 will be coming up. Hello. How you doing? What's happening? I see you. So I'll be doing that starting in February, right? Because I have so many other things I'm doing. And that's something I want to do because I find that with just the slightest tools, slightest tips, the slightest shift in your strategy or your approach to situations can change so many things. And so my Earn It in 6, I'll be posting, doing some marketing around it, I guess, and branding, whatever you call it, right? Posting about when it's going to start, how do you sign up, and so forth. I'll be doing that pretty soon, probably by the end of this week. The Earn It in 6 is an amazing program. It started, like I said, when I turned 50. I did that as a gift to other people. You know how when it's your birthday, you show up with the birthday cake and you show up with the treats for everybody. Well, this was a gift to everybody, the Earn It in 6, and I was doing it, and it was really, really successful. It turned out more successful than I could have even anticipated. And so as a result, I will be doing it again starting February. Get on board because I want to keep my group small, because I believe in everyone having a say, everyone being able to ask questions, as well as me being able to respond, right? And so that's one of the things I'll be doing this year, as well as continuing on with my relationship rescue program for individuals, women and or men, and the relationship rescue program for my couples. That's not going to stop. That's gotten extremely popular. And it's working really well. I'm really proud of how I have trusted God in the midst of all of this. You know, sometimes it's so difficult to do certain things when you feel like, did God say this? Did he say that? But when you start doing what you truly love to do and what you have been gifted to do, you know you're on the right track. Right? And so my relationship rescue program will be continuing on. And this year I have taken on another team because as well, I also coach / manage / mediate 3 teams, right? Small business teams. So that eases up the CEO, and I guess it's a gap between the CEO or the boss and the team. And then there's me. So I do that, as well as all my workshops and various things. I do mediation. That's something I love to do. All these things are like second nature to me. So I just wanted to come on really briefly and share some things, but more so to let you know that as of this week, the balanced woman will shift to my relationship theory, and it will be directed to my relationship theory YouTube channel. And I'll be sharing snippets, short snippets, I guess 1-minute snippets on the various social media platforms. But I'll be doing little episodes as it relates to certain topics, as it relates to relationships, and I'll be going in, right? Another thing I want to share, I guess, before I end this is there are so many of you in relationships, right? And you're looking for 2025. One of the things I hear a lot of is, oh, this is my year, 2025. I'm going to. And I hear a lot of what you're going to do as it relates to your career. I want to remind you that if you're married, engaged, or in a committed relationship, or seeking to be in a committed relationship, as you are placing so much emphasis, work, trainings, education, time into your career, note that if you want to also have a successful marriage, engagement, relationship of any sort, you're going to have to invest even more for it. So this year, my intention is to be more vocal, more in your face about it, because I'm all for woman power. I'm all for every power. I'm all for career advancement or development. But if you're showing up in these spaces and your personal relationships you're not showing up in your fullness. Because just imagine what that relationship could look like at work if you were happy at home. So that's what I wanted to talk about. The other thing I wanted to share is, I'm trying to remember every little thing that I talked about. I took some notes, but is I've had several people say to me, Tina, my goodness, you help ambitious women to not get divorced based on not, so that you can have your career and marriage at the same time. I do that with men and couples, yes. But their thought is that my husband wasn't supportive or isn't supportive, and I had to quit my job. So I want to clear that up. That was never the case. I, as a CEO of an organization, wasn't showing up in the capacity of wife, wasn't showing up as I should have. And had I not caught myself, in my case, I resigned. That doesn't have to be a story. And I didn't just resign for one reason, it was various reasons. And many of you in CEO positions could only imagine. But had I not been so focused on that role, focused on coming home, never knocking off, never doing anything but work in my mind, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, everything became work, I could have been divorced. And I have an amazing husband. Praise God for that. I could have lost my husband based off of putting my career first. So my heart really goes out to many of you that I see on a day-to-day basis. I hear your stories. And some of you are my clients that just don't know how to manage both a career and your marriage and a relationship at the same time. For many of you, your career is very successful and you're continuously growing, or it could just be you know how to work. You know your job. So you aren't having any challenges there. But your relationships are extremely challenged. And many of you on the verge of divorce. Many of you are sleeping in different bedrooms. Many of you are sleeping in separate homes. Many of you are walking amongst your hallways and your kitchen and your bedroom and your bathrooms, grunting at each other. Many of you are showing face now that it's January, all the Christmas festivities and holidays and all these events are over. So that phase of, hi, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, it's over. So you're back to square one, looking at your husband and or wife with disgust, looking at your husband and or wife with, do I have to do this? How much longer? Looking at your partner or your spouse, wondering, how am I going to get out of this relationship? Or staying in the relationship because you believe it's too expensive to part. I, Tina Laws, your relationship rescue consultant, helps most of you, those who listen, and those who might be joining, to turn that around. Okay, guys, so that's what I wanted to share today, right? Is to keep going. And if you want for New Year's resolutions, good for you. I wish you all the very best. And I hope by now on day 13 that you have hit your mark for day 13. But I can assure you, as I keep going, this morning I got up 5:30. I had to do 2 interviews. Then I had to do a 7:30 with Angela on here. I can't wait to that podcast interview, Jennifer girl. Angela girl. I'm excited about it. We talked, and so my day has been busy. And guess what I didn't get to do, which I will do sometime today, is my workout. And so 20 years ago, I would have been really upset because that would have been my resolution. But because my word, my theme, my approach for this year is to keep going, I'll get it done. I'll just keep it going. Okay, guys, thanks for joining and thanks for coming on the replay. And one of the things I want you to be clear on is, if you have any questions as it relates to relationships, if there's anything you wish for me to share or talk about anonymously without mentioning name or your situation or circumstance, please, that's what I do. Okay, drop it in my DM or send me an email at tina@tinalawsconsultant.com. And ultimately, go by my website and get yourself booked in for your Earn It in 6 program. Because like I told you before, it was like wildfire, the sign-up rate in 3 years ago when I turned 50. So I could only imagine what it would look like now. And for those of you who prefer individual, the price will be different. But I offer that too. Okay, guys, so I hope on this 13th day of January 2025, all's going well for you. And those that are having challenges as to what I previously talked about, get help. Just get help. Nothing beats help. And I'll say this, while everybody thought my husband was so horrible for making me quit, which that wasn't the case, it was one of my coaches that helped me to make the decision to resign and to prioritize what was most important to me. And since which, I've been much more attentive at work. I've had way more business opportunities, which means I have been even busier than I was when I was in that role, right? But I now know how to prioritize. I now know what's most important. And for me, what's most important is that I'm happy at home. So that when I show up, for most of you who know, when I show up to do any workshops or any trainings, I show up and you'll wonder, how are you so much like this? You're so... It's because I left home very much fulfilled and happy. And that's success for me. And I want it to be success for you too. Okay, guys, so thanks for joining. And I'll see you next week, Monday, at the same time, 12:15 AST on my Instagram. But it is going to be a snippet. And then I'm going to refer you to my Relationship Theory YouTube channel for the rest. Okay? Enjoy your week. Talk soon.